Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hatha Yoga. We're going to start the class on our backs on our blanket. And so we're going to need a few props. I need, if you could have one or two blankets, two blocks, and a yoga strap or something that you might use in lieu of that. Some people use like an old belt or a tie, but yoga strap, two blocks, two blankets if you have them, one for sure. If you've got something to do that you could use like a blanket. We're going to begin on our backs on the blanket. So just a little folding lesson. If you've got this kind of a Mexican blanket like lots of us do for yoga, it just starts in its quarter fold, fold that in half, and then fold that in half again. So you end up with this narrow fold like that to lay on your back. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. You're going to use it to support the length of your spine. So make sure your head is on the blanket, and then as much of your spine as you're able to manage, lay flat down onto your back. And so you're going to get a little lift, a little bit of a supported back bend. Let your arms just drape away from that. Let your legs extend long, but they too can just drape open. You don't need to worry about any particular posture there once you get your back supported. So I'm coming back to kind of talk you through it, but start on your back. Let that folded blanket support the length of your spine. It'll give you just a little bit of lift. It'll open through the chest. You'll feel a little opening through the heart center, and it'll help you kind of get grounded. So give you a few minutes to get yourself set up. Extended legs if you can. If your low back's giving you some problems and you need to bend your knees and just have your feet to the floor and knees bent, that's fine. That's cool. But if you can extend the legs, that's even better. Extending your arms alongside your body in a way that just feels comfortable to your shoulders. And so we'll use that as our transitional pose as we bring ourselves into, onto the yoga mat and into this yoga state of mind. We'll start with the Durga breath. That's that three-part breath that really helps us connect to a very radical change in our breathing pattern. So it's like drawing your inhale 3 times. You're going to take a little sip of the inhale, which fills your low belly. You take a little pause, and then there's more of inhale drawing in, another sip. And that's at your diaphragm level. And then finally, you finalize that full inhale at the chest area, maybe the collarbone area. Hold it just briefly, and then exhale slowly out your mouth like you're blowing out a candle. So it takes a breath of in some more, exhale it all the way out. A 3-part breath. So stay with that track of breathing in again, hold, and release the breath through your mouth as though you were blowing out a candle. And just stay with that, expanding through your belly and expanding into your diaphragm. And finally, you feel it lifting into the chest. So breath awareness, the practice of pranayama, is so fundamental to yoga that it's kind of the way I always start. Just bringing ourselves into the awareness of our body by way of the breath. Let yourself be supported. It's a beautiful way to start. It's not, there's really no effort in terms of holding your body in any particular way. We let the blanket support us and give us that opening back bend and kind of a heart opening experience. Stay with it a couple more breath cycles. And then just allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm of breathing. The difference will be that you're paying attention to it, that you're feeling your inhale and you're feeling your exhale as though you are participating in that process, because you are. Try to breathe all the way in before you breathe all the way out. In and out through the nose if you can, but it's not important. If you find that that's just difficult, it doesn't feel like your normal rhythm, then don't breathe that way. Breathe in a way that feels natural to you. Pay attention to the breath. And as you lay there, palms open, and if they're not open, let's just flip your hands so you feel that open palm experience. Use this time to set your intention for class. What is it you came to yoga for? Or what is it you desire? What do you need? Or how do you want to feel? Those are kind of the inquiry that I like to throw out there as a way to determine what is your intention for class today. Or however you arrive at it. You don't need to follow my lead. However you arrive there. Let's just see if we can simmer with that. Not complicated. It's just what you need, how you'd like to feel, and that you're just trusting that when you make that as part of your intention, you're drawing that into yourself, you're creating it. Good. Well, I'm going to have you bring your feet to the mat and roll off of your blanket and push that blanket to the side. And it's time to get your strap out as we're going to warm up with the use of a strap. So for now, our blanket and our blocks can just be off to the side. Get this out of the way, just one moment. And we'll use our strap, unwinding it all the way, laying on your back. Let's start with the right leg, hugging both knees into the chest. We'll just take the strap and put it on the ball of the right foot. So not on the arch of the foot as much. Instead, look for the ball of the foot. If you can extend your left leg long to the mat, do that. If again, low back or it just doesn't feel comfortable, you can always bend your knee and support yourself that way. A strap in each hand. So try to balance your strap out so you can, it's kind of in the center where your foot is. And we've got a strap in each hand and straightening your leg. And begin to inhale as you push your foot into the strap and exhale as you use the strap by way of your hands and arms to pull your foot toward the head of the mat. But remember, keep your sacrum down. So we're really working within the joint, the proper anatomy of the pelvis. We want to work in the hip joints. So don't try to lift your pelvis up off the mat. Keep yourself grounded through the sacrum and move in that way, no matter how deep you're trying to get into your hamstring stretch here. Keep your sacrum down. Another thing I like to do, and I'm just inviting you, if you're looking for ways to stay with this and you're looking for, variance, is to get your hands at the very end of the straps and you're just kind of using your arms to pull your leg up and you let your leg pull your arms down. So you end up working both your arms and your leg. So just a variance if you're looking for that. If you're accustomed to just working the strap, stretching it, you want to really get that hamstring stretched out. Push your foot into the strap and pull your foot forward or toward the head of the mat. But remember, sacrum stays grounded. See if you can find a rhythm of your breath, just noticing the rhythm of the inhale and exhale. You don't need to match it up with any movement, but just be aware of the rhythm of your breath in and out. Good, let's get both straps into the right hand now, both straps right hand, and I want you to dial your foot. Dial your heel, like use your heel to turn your foot so that your toes are pointing in the direction that your leg is going to fall open over toward the right side. So dialing the foot will steer us back into the anatomy of the pelvis, like I mentioned earlier, so that you can find your way into the hips joint and that you're using the glutes to move your leg. Otherwise, if we don't dial the foot, we can sometimes just sort of let the buttocks just flatten out and we're not utilizing the musculature there in a way that really serves us well. So dialing the foot, guiding your bony structure into this external rotation within your hip socket is a great way to accomplish, better integrity in the movement. And you'll notice I'm moving, so you can hold it, stretch it out, and hold and push. I like to move, so that's just my personal preference. But we're working through waking up the legs and really changing the energy within the legs and all of the energy channels that run through our legs. This is a great way to just sort of shake that up. Let's come to center now. Both straps are going to come into the left hand. Step your left foot to the floor so that you're able to lift your pelvis over to the right a couple inches, and then extend that left leg long again. And now dial your foot so your heel turns and your toes are pointing now to the left side of you. Oh boy, and you're going to be in your into that IT band. I'm going to suggest you get your hand and your thumb right into that crease, kind of opening up, helping your fascial layer loosen up so you'll be able to access a little more movement. I'm still moving personally. That's the way I do the stretches with the strap. But if that's not your preference, then just use your strap the way you're accustomed to as we come into this into the internal, I should say, the internal rotation of that hip socket on the right side. Good, and then we come back up. Let's see if we can lengthen through the whole strap. I'm center. I've just made a quick adjustment to center my pelvis again. Go to the very ends of your strap and pull it back overhead. So you've got your arms extended overhead, and just push the foot up toward the ceiling for a few breaths here. We're going to bend the knee now so we can remove the strap. And then arms just open wide, kind of like an A-frame. Let's very slowly and mindfully bring our foot to the floor so we feel we're very aware when that heel makes its connection to the mat. Take a pause now and just notice in your body how that feels. Breathe through the length of your body, a full body experience of breathing. Again, we're going to hug the knees into the chest so we can go to the other side and place the strap onto the ball of the foot of the left foot now. Bent knee is an option for that right leg, or extended leg long. Remember, work within the framework of your hips. So when you extend your leg long, don't let it go wide of your hips frame. So you're drawing your leg in toward the midline and keeping yourself lined up within the frame of your hips and shoulders. So we keep the sacrum down. We're going to keep that sacrum touching the mat. We feel that connection of the pelvis, that right alignment within the pelvis. Push your foot into the strap and then use the strap to pull your leg toward the head of the mat. That's one method. And you can keep working on that, stretching the hamstring, stretching through the Achilles part of the heel and into the calf. Or you can get some quicker movement going by extending your hands all to the very tips of the mat, to the tips of the strap. And then we're just moving up and down through that midline track. Arms, straight arms, real strong and straight arms, pulling the leg up and down. So your choice about how to start this left side now, stretching into the hamstrings and into the calf, warming up the leg and changing the energy into the legs' energy channels here. Keep breathing. Notice your breath. Might get a little stronger, that ujjayi breath where you hear that sound of the ocean in your throat as you exhale. Let's get the strap now, both straps, I should say, into your left hand, both straps, left hand, and we're going to dial the foot. So we're turning our foot so our toes are pointing toward the left side of the body, which is the direction we're going. Remember, we want to keep the sacrum down. So as we're moving into this external rotation here, We've dialed our foot. So what we're doing is changing how the bones are lining up. We're dialing the bones to be in a particular movement. And we're utilizing the strength of our glutes to move the leg instead of letting the buttocks just sort of flatten out. So there's could be some circling action. Maybe it's just over and back. Just use your imagination. Just see what feels right. Keep your shoulders flush to the floor and notice how your back body has plenty of support. Great. Let's bring that leg up to center. And then we're going to step that right foot to the mat. So we can shift our pelvis over to the left a couple inches. Both straps are going into the right hand now as we move into that internal rotation. Here's where you probably want to put your thumb into the crease of the leg. As you draw, you dial your foot so your toes point toward the right side, changing the bone structure as you're changing your rotation into your hip socket. And again, this can be movement, constant movement, circular movement, or you pull it over there and you feel the stretch and you work with that intensity. Hand to the leg, I highly recommend. You're helping the fascial layer loosen up, and there's this calming effect to the nervous system. Find your breath in and out, full breath in, full breath out. Excellent. Let's bring our leg back up to center. Kind of shimmy yourself back where your pelvis is back to neutral position. We're going to get the straps way to the very end. Finish it up with just a hold. Get your arms fully extended up and overhead. And the leg is extended straight up, and straighten it out as much as you can. I always say that's a straight leg for me. I'm giving it my effort. This feels straight to me. And that's what I encourage you to do too. Just give it your best effort. It's as straight as you can do it for today. Find your breath in and out. And then just bend your knee so you can take the strap off, and let's move the strap out of the way. Leg is going to descend slowly, slowly, slowly to the mat. Pay attention to its arrival when it touches the mat and notice that. Beautiful. Let's hug those knees into the chest and try to draw a circle now. Keep those legs joined together and circle around so you can feel how you're giving yourself a little massage. But I like a circle movement more so than side to side rocking, only because it takes a little more coordination, a little more effort. So it'll keep you more mindful. That's the reason. As we try to circle around into that kidney area, calming and nurturing through the adrenal glands. Change the direction of your circle if you haven't done that yet. Keeping the legs joined together in a circular movement. Both feet to the floor in constructive rest. So open up your feet a little wide, let the knees just drop together, and let your arms open up in the way that they just naturally arrive. Feel how your shoulder blades are well aligned. The position laying down on the floor is about as honest as you can get in terms of your posture, right? You've got your back body alignment. There's no question about it. Gravity's taking care of that for you. How about we start working on some strength of the abdominals? So I want you to hug your right knee into your chest, interlacing your hands onto your shin, and extend that left leg straight out. Remember, we're working through the frame of our hips and shoulders, so don't go wide. Extend that left leg long. So you feel a pull on your right side as you pull that right knee and thigh into your chest, and you push as you hover the left foot above the mat. So the left extended leg is hovering above the floor as you push and lengthen and pull on the right side. Find your breath moving through the body in and out, noticing the breath. and what kind of strength you need there. Maybe again, that Ujjayi breath shows up. Exhale completely. And now let's let that left leg lift up, straight leg up, lift up. Point and flex. So I've got some action going in the left foot, working some kinks out of the ankle and the joints of the foot. Point and flex. And we're going to descend slowly. Let that straight leg make its way all the way down to the mat. And stay with your hug knee into the chest one last time. And then slip your hands behind your thigh and lift up a straight leg. Start walking your hands up the leg so that you're able to lift your chest and your head up to meet that straight leg. So a nice stretch. Get yourself up off the floor. Draw your head in toward your leg. Spread your toes. Get a lot of action going on, a lot of muscular action going on. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Let's get our head back to the floor, and we'll bring the right leg all the way down. Full body stretch, raise your arms above your head. Breathe in, breathe out. Open and close your hands. Stretch your hands, open and close. And let's move to the other side now. So we're bending the left knee and grabbing hold of the shin. This is the pull and the push. So we're pulling in, maybe flex the foot so you really feel the action throughout the leg. And then we extend that right leg up and off the floor so it's hovering. Push through the sole of the foot. Keep yourself within the frame of your hips and shoulders. Let your shoulder blades melt into the mat. Feel the support of that. Now find your fullness of breath in and out, hovering that leg above the mat as you pull in on the other side. So right side of the body and left side of the body are doing different things that complement each other, but they're doing very, very different things. Breathing in and out. Let's ascend. We're going to ascend that right leg up, all the way up, straight on up. And now we'll circle the foot, waking up the ankle, waking up the joints of the feet. And we're sort of anchored in with our hugging that left side in toward us. It's like an anchor and a steadiness. Beautiful. And then let's descend slowly down, 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 and make its way to the mat. Now we're going to slip our hands underneath the thigh of our left leg, and now we'll extend that one all the way, stretch it out, and start walking your hands up the leg so you can bring your chest up off the mat, and you're bringing your head off the mat, bringing your leg toward your face, breathing in, breathing out, trying to keep yourself within the frame of your hips and shoulders. One more good breath. Bring yourself back, so head's back on the mat. We'll let that leg come slowly, slowly down. Another full body stretch. Both arms are up and overhead. Open and close your hands, move your feet, spread your toes. You might even open your mouth, stick your tongue out. That's a good idea. Open through the mouth. That's nice to get, we're in touch with the vagal tone. Anytime we start bringing movement and vibration into the mouth, that's a good toning of our vagal nerve. All the way down with those arms, and let's step our feet back to the mat, and we're into our constructive rest. Let's open the arms a little wider so we've got a nice wide, maybe a T shape here. And we're going to do some windshield wipers. So we're just going to let those knees drop from side to side. Connect your breath to the movement. So if your breath is just kind of a slow pace right now, it's just sort of, not working too hard. That's the kind of pace your legs are following. If you choose to speed it up, you want to get your heart going, then then that's great. But that's conscious, that it's a conscious decision of matching up your breath to the movement. Let's do a little supine twist here and get your feet up off the floor. Join your legs together. Keep your arms in this sort of T shape. Maybe it could be more of an A frame, but so it feels supportive for you. And then draw those legs from side to side. Go all the way down, and come back up. Keep the legs joined together as best you can. Your shoulder blades stay flat to the mat. So you're using a lot of core strength here. So this is 2 times on each side. Let's finish it up with one more time. So we've done 3 twists all the way over to the side and then up to the other side. And speaking of abdominal strength, keep your legs up so your shins are in a parallel position to the floor. Let's interlace our hands behind the head and do some crunching where you bring elbow to knee. Strengthen your breath. Let your breath take care of itself, and you just don't try to simmer it down. Let it be as strong as it needs to be to support your crunching abdominal wall strength. Let's do 5 more. There's 4. There's 3. 2. And 1. Head comes back to the mat, feet come back to the mat, take a pause. Deepen the breath. Back to the windshield wiper movement. Separate your feet a little bit. I kind of go for the width of the mat, try to find my mat's edge, and then move side to side. And roll to your right side and make your way up now to an all fours position. Let's take a wider stance where you're opening your knees as wide as the mat, hands are wide as the mat, and just start to kind of think of this as nonlinear movement that you're just circling around perhaps. If you want to close your eyes and let your body just start moving, and you can trust that you've done it before, or you just start to move and find that your body will just kind of take over what it needs, it will get. But if you need some direction, it could be just circular movement. Wide hands, wide knees, turning your head, exploring how your neck is doing, deepening the breath. I'm changing direction whenever it just sort of feels right. Let's meet in child's pose. So keep your knees open wide and bring your big toes together. I want you to sit back into your sit bones, to bring your sit bones right down into the heels. And then start the process of the long arm pose of the child, where you bring your forehead to the mat, arms extended out. Can you lift the butt of your hands or the heel of your hands up off of the mat and just have your finger pads down so your armpits have raised up? Really, there's no contact with your arms to the mat at all. You've got just instead your finger pads down, and you're drawing your sit bones towards your heels. And then gravity will take it from there as you feel the stretching of your hips and into your knees and thighs. But really notice what you notice. I could name a bunch of body parts that I think we're trying to work on, but it's what you're feeling that matters, what you're experiencing here. 2 more good breaths. And then make your way now to all fours, where we're lined up in the tabletop. version where you're aligned with your shoulders and your hands and your hips and your knees. Let's move through the cow and the cat as we let the chest bone lift up, the tailbone lifts up into the arch through the back body. Breathe in and out here, patterning this pose, this extension of the spine. And it's also a expansion through the front body. And then as you exhale and start to round your back body into the C-shaped curve of the cat, notice how there's like a dome shape of the back body. So it's like an expansion of the back body as you round through into that familiar pose of the cat. Drop your chin. This is a vinyasa, so let's inhale as we come back to the extension of the spine or the expansion through the front body, and exhale as you round into the dome shape or the expansion of the back body. Connecting inhale, front body, exhale, back body. You need to finish the inhale and finish the exhale so you can get the most bang for your buck. Get plenty of time in the pose. We're going to add what's called a scooping cat. So as you come into just a neutral spine, maybe you have to watch me through this if you're not familiar. Scooping cat is you take your inhale as you draw your hips back into your heels, and that's a long, long inhale as your chest drags along the mat, scooping. Finally, the exhale is the completion of the cat pose. So it's a scooping cat as you drag your chest through a long inhale process, drag, drag, drag. Stay as low as you can, as long as you can. Exhale into the roundness of the back body of our cat. Good upper body strengthening here. It really encourages a long inhale and movement through the spine, beautiful undulation through the spine. Last time. When you start to scoop that cat, you're all the way down. We're going to land on our belly, crocodile pose, as you just land all the way down, stretch it down, land on your belly, stack your arms or hands so your forehead is like a pillow. Find your breath now. Surrender to this pose. Surrender to the ease of it. There's nothing to it. See if you can allow that to be true. One more full breath cycle. We're moving into cobra. So we bring our hands to the mat. They're underneath the shoulders somewhat. You decide what kind of a cobra is available, that big mama cobra, or if it's a baby. Elbows are drawing in toward the side body and pubic bone is grounded. Exhale all the way down, forehead to the floor. Take a pause. Keep your hands right where they are. Elbows are drawing into the sides. Just breathe. On your next inhale, lift up to another cobra, balancing through the pubic bone. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's exhale down. Pause. Surrender. Last time. Inhale up. Shoulder blades sliding down the back, gaze is straight forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Exhale all the way down, back to crocodile. So let your arms come back to serve as a pillow for your head and surrender to this ease. Let's make our way to all fours. Take your time to align yourself into that tabletop. And we're going to move through the cow and the cat. And the next time you're in your cow pose, hold it, turn the toes under so your heels have popped up. Float your knees above the floor so you're taking your cow up and off the mat. And from there, move into your downward dog, preserving that lumbar curve. Get your arms as close to your head as possible so you can feel the support that that offers your neck and head in its alignment. And then notice how far apart your hands are and see if you can match your feet to be the same. The same distance between your hands is what you're going to hold between your feet. Let's start kind of pedaling. One heel drops way down into the mat while the other heel comes up. But I want you to do this in slow motion so you can stay very mindful of the sensation. And feeling the stretch through the calf, through the hamstrings, you're just feeling your way into this. And going slow motion so you don't lose track of that. Notice how your head, neck, and spine are in great alignment, and that the arms extended right past the ears just feel like a safety net. It feels like you've got all the support in the world for your head and neck. Let's meet with both heels up. You're on your toes now, and drop both heels down. Inhale, up. Exhale, heels down. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're going to start walking our hands to our feet and maybe our feet to the hands. They're both in motion as we make our way to a forward fold. Keep your head down, looking down between your legs, and straighten out your feet. Drawing your upper body towards your lower body. And if you've got different techniques you use, like you grab hold of the back of your legs, or I find a lot of people will grab a hold of their elbows. They've got ways that they come into their forward fold. I'm not going to disturb any of that. Feel your way into your pose. I suggest you keep your eyes open so you'll keep your bearings better. Let's give it 2 more breaths. We're going to bring our hands below our knees to the shins so we can do the half lift. Get to your finger pads so you can really straighten out into an L shape. Pull your chin in towards your throat, try to flatten out your back body. So you're creating an L shape with your body. Now make your way into your awareness of your feet. I want the whole surface of your feet to hold you up. Bring some more attention to the inner ankles. So you want the insides, the inner thighs, and the insides of your feet to be a real strong hold here. Now find a good breath cycle in and out in this L shape, half lift. And fold all the way down like a rag doll. Return to the complete forward fold. Let's do 2 more of those as we inhale up to our half lift, create the L shape, and exhale down and fold. Make it a long inhale. Inhale up, hold it, exhale, fold. And then bend your knees quite a lot and round your back body so you can come up 1 vertebrae at a time. Draw your chin in towards your throat. Keep your head down so it's the last thing that comes up is the head as you come slowly, slowly up 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way up to standing. Let's make our way to our mountain pose now. Palms face forward. Feet are hips distance apart and the feet are straight, so make sure that's true. Take a pause now. See if you can close your eyes now and breathe a full body experience of your breath. Let the body feel the breath of the inhale coming up through the front of the body, and let the exhale descend down the back of your body. One more breath all the way through. Great. And then let's flutter the eyes open and get used to that. We're going to take a wide angle. Hands are coming to the hips. Open up your feet wide. And I want you to just start bending from one knee to the other. So your hips are kind of swagging from side to side. And then fold all the way down towards your left leg. Bring yourself all the way down where both hands are over on the left side. And you're bringing your face down to meet your knee. Now pull away from that. Let your hips pull over to the other side. It won't be a big movement, but you'll feel the stretch as you keep your hands on the floor. Maybe you're kind of holding onto your foot in some way. My preference is the floor as I pull my hips away from that. So the pelvis are pulling to the other side. And then just start walking your hands right through the center over to the other leg, over to the other side now. And again, we're folding forward so that our face is trying to meet our knee. Feel the feet, feel the strength of your ankles. Make sure your hands are a great source of connection and security for you. And then pull those hips away from that side. So if you're over onto your right side, you're pulling your hips over toward the left. So the pelvis is trying to pull away. And let your arms and your hands position themselves the way it just feels natural for you. What feels supportive. Let's bring our hands back to center. Hands are going to jump to the waist, and let's lift up halfway to that flat back. And this time you're above your knees and your hands are on your thighs. Push real hard into your thighs. So you've got a real good strength there, like you're creating a supporting for a shelf, the shelf bracket. And then soften the knees just a bit as you lift all the way up, all the way up. Palms will come together overhead. Let's inhale together. Exhale at the heart. Inhale up and exhale all the way down. We're going to come into a warrior position now. So let's take that left foot and turn. So you've just pivoted on your heels. I know many of you very familiar with how to align. Make sure there is an alignment. Front foot, back foot do have a relationship. Commonly, it's the front heel aligns with the back heel, or the front heel aligns with the arch of the back foot. So whatever your hips seem to need, that's where you're going to be. Let's extend the arms out in a T shape and turn palms up. Pull the belly in so you can feel your tailbone drop just a bit. Now get a lot of awareness into the straight leg. The bent knee seems to be taking all of our attention. See if you can bring more awareness into the straight leg. And there's a rotation now. So the thigh bone is rotating toward the pinky edge of the foot just slightly. And the straight leg is rotating more toward the big toe part of the foot. Feel that? Gentle rotation, good alignment for your hips. Let's reverse the warrior. So one arm drops to the thigh, the other one reaches to the sky. Look up. Let your tailbone serve as another anchor or a root for you as you breathe in and breathe out. Back to our warrior. Side angle now as we bring our elbow and forearm to that thigh. Now let's get our back hand way back to the sacrum. Get your hand back to the sacrum so it'll help pull the shoulder back and get your shoulders in alignment now. Your ear is in alignment with your elbow in that direction. So you're shining your ear or facing your ear toward the elbow or toward the knee. And once you feel like you've got your body in that rotation, you've got your shoulders in alignment, then we probably have an opportunity to lift up that arm. Remember, the straight leg needs some awareness too. So press your foot, get some awareness into that side of your hip, into that leg, and see if you can extend the arm past your ear, creating that long angle. Lift your chest up so your rib cage is lifting up. That's it. And you're really monitoring how you're holding and managing the weight of your head by how your ears are, how your ears are facing the top arm, how the other ear is facing that lower arm. It's just a good alignment. Let's lift ourselves up. The strength of the arm will help. We're back into our warrior. Hands will come to the waist. We'll straight leg that warrior now and flip around so we can move to the other side. When we approach it in this direction, it's usually no problem keeping the foot alignment. So should be no problem. Take a look to be sure. And we're bending now into that other side. So one knee gets to bend, drop the tailbone, extend your arms when you're ready, and palms up will help you get your shoulder blades to the back. Bring some awareness into the straight leg because we're trying to keep our spine in a vertical position. Strong with the core now, strong engagement through the belly. Aligning, remember how we're going to find the pinky edge of the foot so this thigh can align and rotate, do its little spiral out there toward the pinky side of the foot. And the other foot is finding more ground through the big toe side of the foot. Reversing the warrior, hand reaches to the thigh, the other hand reaches to the sky. Find a deepest bend as your body will give you today. A deep bend of the knee, feeling the breath in and out, all the way in, all the way out. And back to our warrior. We'll come into that extended warrior, elbow to the thigh. And let's take that back hand to the very back, to the back body, way back to the sacrum, so you can align your shoulders, stack your shoulders. Ears in line with that elbow and the knee. And then we're going to bring that arm right past that ear. I bypassed the lift to the sky. We're just going straight for that long angle here. That long line through the whole side of your body. Remember, give some awareness to the straight leg. Pull some body weight over to the straight leg. Lift your chest up. Lift the rib cage through the sides. Lift and expand. Deepen the breath. Let's let that upper arm help us come all the way up, all the way up. And we're going to rotate the feet. Kind of heel toe yourself back to a little wider angle. I'm as wide as a mat. Interlace hands behind your back. So you've just got your hands interlaced. If you can bring the butt of the hands together back there, try that. It deepens it. Soften the knees quite a bit. Let's take a fold. Keep your eyes wide open now. Fold, fold, fold. Let your knuckles reach up to the ceiling. Again, if you can squeeze the butt of the hands like you're making a fist, you're going to feel more stretch, more sensation. Be aware of the strength of your feet and ankles, trusting. So you can fold deeply. Deepen the breath. When we release our hands, it's like a rag doll. Now start bringing your feet toward hips distance apart. So just start to wiggle your feet in a little bit so they're more hips distance apart as you hang into your forward fold. Jump your hands to your shins so you're below your knees and we're coming into that half lift. Get onto your finger pads and create as best you can the L shape. Pulling your chin in towards your throat, pull the belly in for lots of strength there. And make sure your feet are well connected to the earth and you feel it. You can feel it and trust it. Strength of your legs, strength of your ankles in your half lift, flat back. Can you spread your arms away from you like wings would be, reaching the fingertips back? So now you're entirely doing with the strength of your legs, the strength of your core. Let's breathe in and breathe out to that. Inhale up and let the arms come up, come up. Palms are together up and overhead. Exhale, heart, bow. Inhale back up and all the way around as we exhale. Let's bring our feet together and we'll try a little chair position. That's a little balancing act. So we come in, let's bring our, maybe palms together. How's that? Palms together right at the heart. And we're coming in, I'll give you a side view, coming into the chair position, that Uttanasana. So squatting into that, pull your butt and the hips and the buttocks back toward the heels a little bit. and get as low into that as you're able to facilitate a twist so the elbow can wrap around to the outside of the thigh, and you stack your elbows straight up and down, get those shoulders stacked, soften the neck, squeeze the legs together, focal point, breathe in and breathe out. Let's come back to center. Let's keep our palms together. Can we go right to the other side? Turn. You want your elbow to come all the way over to the outside of your thigh. You're turning your head very methodically, so you're managing the weight of your head. Press those palms, elbows stacked, squeeze the legs. We're breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. Keep your hands together as you come all the way up. But we're going to separate the feet a little bit, a little wider base. Lift up. Look up. Breathe in, breathe out as you lift up, look up. Try to straighten out your arms. Deepen the breath. And on your next exhale, bow into your own heart. Inhale up. And exhale, go all the way around, all the way around. Beautiful. I want you to bring your feet together one more time, and let's just try circling around those knees. Good workout for your joints of your knees to have a little more fuller range of movement, but also good for the ankles. And we'll change the direction of that. And back to a mountain pose. As we come into tree pose, there's a mountain inside of that, right? We have the same sort of stability. Shift your weight now. You choose which leg is going to be your first tree's trunk and root, and let the heel come up of the other leg. So you can rotate the foot to rest against the inner ankle, or you might just bring it right up to the inner part of your shin and calf area. If you've got the capability, I don't have the right pants to keep my leg up there into the inner thigh. It slides, but if you've got the right ones that can do that, please do. Oops. Find your focal point. Stay steady. This is your own creation. You don't need to look at the screen at all. I hope you know that. And just find your way into your balancing pose. The steadiness of it. Trusting the strength and the steadiness of your practice. For me, it's not until I've given myself a couple solid breaths, strong inhale and exhale, that I really feel like I did it. I completed my pose. We'll come out of it as mindfully as we came into it. Maybe shake your legs out a little bit, shake your arms. We'll set up for the other side, finding your focal point, feeling the same strength and stability as a mountain as you root into your tree. It's an external rotation of the knee. So you remember you're pulling it to the side, not out front. Put your foot kind of push into your leg, but your leg pushes right back. So there's a lot of engagement there. And the arms are the branches of your tree, so they get to be expressed any way you want. And then don't settle until you've given yourself at least a couple full breath cycles. When we come out, mindfully coming out, we'll shake that out. All right, let's make our way to Shavasana. So we'll have plenty of time to rest and meditate. So I want you to get comfortable in your reclined position on the floor, using the props that you might need. and want. Eye pillow, blankets. I had you have a block handy and I never used it once. So that happens once in a while. Maybe you used it because you automatically do for various reasons. So making your way into your Shavasana time, letting the mat support you entirely. You just rest into it. Sometimes it's the allowing that is our biggest challenge. Allowing ourselves to have that. So to be fussy about it, this is kind of a ritual time of setting up this sacred space for your meditation and your rest. I'm going to encourage you now to just make your way through a body scan. I'll lead you with some body point references to help you stay connected to this moment. You know, toward the end of class, it's so tempting to kind of check out and be ready for the next thing. So I really want to encourage you to give yourself the full length of your class, the full time on the mat, present to every moment. So as your eyes are closed, bring your awareness to the center of your forehead, not on your forehead, on the skimming the surface of your face, but that you're in the depth of your head, the center of the forehead, deep within your head. And then bring that awareness into your throat, deep in your neck, into the throat, the base of the throat. The heart center. So right at the center of your chest bone, deep behind the chest bone. The navel, the pubic bone, your right hip socket, your right knee, your right ankle, and your foot and toes as you breathe in and breathe out, aware of your foot and your toes on the right. Let's breathe into the ankle, right ankle, the right knee, the right hip socket, pubic bone, left hip socket, left knee, left ankle, and breathe in and out to the left foot and the toes of your left foot. Breathing, experiencing your left foot. Back to the left ankle, the knee, the left hip socket, pubic bone, the navel, heart center, throat, center of the forehead, and now the crown of the head. And allow your breath now to just fill your body with awareness of the life force, awareness of prana, as you return to a natural breath flow throughout your body, that you're sure there's every cell in your body is celebrating this time of relaxation and peace and connection to life force. Let this feel the experience of being held by Mother Earth. being fully supported, fully held by the mother. I have a poem for us as we finish up our class time by Dana Faulds. It's called Being Present. Breathe, relax, and feel. Take time to slow down the pace of life. Watch the rise and fall of moods, the birth and death of dreams. Feelings and sensations seem so real, yet they shift like changing clouds and flow with the high tide out to sea again. Allow it all to be. No need to grasp or push away. Present with each moment, the whole of you, body, mind, and soul, opens to receive. Let's take a big breath in through the nose now and exhale it out of your mouth with a sigh. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out of your mouth with a sound. Last time. Step your feet to the mat. Roll to your right side into the fetal position as you draw your knees in toward your chest and round through your back body. Pillow your head with your right arm. Take a pause there. And then make your way to a seated position. Any seated position where you're comfortable. Let's sync up our breath. Inhale with me as we bring palms together up and overhead. Exhale as you bow into your own heart. Inhale back up and exhale. Let's share this peaceful, loving energy with our community. Good. And palms will come together at the heart. We bow to each other. We bow to ourselves. Namaste, my friends. Thanks for joining me.